I want to thank my kids for coming up with that fun little intro. They all had a part in making it. Bryson especially, he's the one that's been learning how to program with Scratch. And anyways, so let's get started with part 3 of the MGTD engine rebuild. And this will be the third and final episode, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Enjoy. The next step is to install the oil pump. Things to remember: install the green, in my case it's a green gasket in between the block and the base of the pump. When you install the top part of the oil pump, just put a little bit of silicone sealant on the edge all the way around. I even put it around each of the bolts on the bolt holes on the inside and on the outside as well, as you can see here. But you gotta make sure it's a really thin coat. If you put too much in, you'll end up clogging up the gears in the oil pump. So just enough to get the edges all sealed. Now install the oil filter bracket. I've cleaned up the distributor and it's ready to go back in. The rotor will move this way as you push it in, as the gears engage on the cam. So keep that in mind. Put your engine at top dead center, and the rotor should end up a couple of degrees before the wire that leads to cylinder number 1. Ignition on the TD engine happens a few degrees after top dead center. I'm going off my previous mark here. I'll probably have to adjust this later, but for now, this will be close enough. Now we can install the generator bracket. And the distributor cap can go back on. I've got the engine all masked off and I'm ready to paint. She's going to be the original red from Moss Motors. Now that the engine's painted, I went ahead and put the oil filter back on, and the pipe that leads from the oil pump to the filter, and the filter to the block. Also, this line that leads from the block to the head, and also to the dash where the oil pressure gauge is. And next I'm going to install things on the front of the engine, starting with the water pump and the crank pulley. One thing that goes on the bottom here you can't forget. It's the engine stabilizer link bracket. Goes right there. Just like that. On this new pulley, the holes are a different size than the original bolts that I had, so I'm going to drill these out to 13/16 and use the 1/4 by 28 standard thread, which matches up with these original bolts. And that should work great. Okay. When painting the pulley and the spacer for this fan, I recommend masking off the parts where they meet. It'll make them slide together much easier. Now the engine mount bracket's ready to go back on. Now the engine stabilizer link is on. It's a little bit tricky. I probably should have done it before installing this pulley. I've got the engine on its side to make things easier for me here, installing the intake and exhaust header. Last thing is the carburetors, and then we can put the tranny and the engine back together and install it back in the frame. Hope you guys are enjoying these videos as much as I am. I also hope you look forward to the next video where we get to put this in there. I'm asking for you guys' support. If you could please subscribe and hit the like button, that would help me out a lot. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And as always, stay crafty. Bye.